Responding to birthday wishes. It's much easier on the computer.
Dude, I'm so pumped to be able to go live and do a podcast on your freaking birthday. Happy birthday, my man.
Yes, thank you. Oh, wait, are we live? I'm not even looking.
We are live. We're live on Facebook, YouTube.
We are live.
Probably, I see YouTube right here, even though the title is definitely wrong. There's no Michael Goodenough right now.
No, unfortunately.
He had a flat tire. You know, that stuff happens with cars. Cars are the worst. I think they're like the worst investment ever.
Yes. And fortunately, speaking of flat tires, I've probably ridden almost 1,000 miles on my new bicycle and not a single flat tire.
Really?
Yeah, that's super rare. Usually I get them all the time. Hey, but you know what?
It could be because you bought a really good bike.
Yeah, it was really nice. Actually, like the tires aren't even that special though. Like it is a nice bike, but the way that they save money, the companies, they put shitty wheels on them. So the first thing that any cyclist does to amend their bike to make it better is they buy new wheels, which is something I'm like, these wheels work. They get me up the road. But you know what? Next time I ride, I'm gonna get a flat tire just because I said that.
just based on the luck of it.
Oh yeah, just because I brought it up. Speaking of bringing things up, we wanted to enlighten or brighten up your day. If you're watching this and you had a little bit of a bad day, we just wanted to show you something to put a smile on our faces. This is a baby monkey. That's his face. Welcome. Look at him. He's so cute.
He's cute as fuck.
Yeah, he's got a tail. He's got he's got little fingers, and his name is Marty.
Courtney right now is probably like, ew. She hates monkeys. She's not a big fan at all.
Thank you, Jessica.
Yes.
Yeah,
happy birthdays for if you're trickling in. It is Andrew's birthday today. Cheers to him. I popped that open and didn't get to cheers. Oh, Nia's got a chapstick for you.
I've got a seltzer. Oh, I could have used that on my ride. So I did my longest ride yet today. I did about 70 miles. It took me 5 hours. I hit the 5-hour mark, and by the end of it, my lips were so chapped I could have used that blue tube. I was thinking of Urban Acres chapstick.
Yeah. I was just about to say you have like hundreds of chapsticks in your basement. Like
yeah, hundreds. And next time I'm adding that to my sachet.
Yeah. Well, this is probably going to be one of the more interesting podcasts that we do because we were supposed to have a guest and then we kind of were like, I don't know, maybe we just won't go live tonight. And then Andy popped out the new cameras that we just got, the Canon 90Ds or the D90s. Look at the clarity.
Oh, look at that audio. Oh, it's so what's the word? I feel naked.
Naked and afraid over here.
Yeah. It's funny how like I brought last time I had a mask that was like exposed my mouth. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
So wearing that, I actually had the same feeling. Like wearing that, I felt more naked than a regular mask or even no mask at all. Because I feel like it was like a target to my mouth. And just that whenever I would have conversation with anybody, they would just stare at my teeth. But yeah, this is the new camera setup, and Adams is going to be on his way tomorrow. Tomorrow he's going to add it to his setup. You just got your brand new work computer.
Oh my god,
that's super exciting.
I am so pumped about this thing. Getting the MacBook Pro, much needed.
Wow.
Upgraded the RAM and the processors to be able to handle all this live streaming and whatnot. I'm trying to live stream to Instagram, but it keeps telling me a Flash player is required, and I thought I downloaded the Flash player. Apparently, I did not do such a thing. I have failed at that. Let's see if we're live on Twitter. Oh, it looks like we're live on Twitter. Sweet, at least that went through. So thank you to everybody watching. Let's see, we're live on Twitch, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, we're live on Twitter and Periscope, and I am downloading Adobe Flash as we speak. So
I've got to share.
Ooh.
I've got to do some sharing.
Ooh.
You know what they say about sharing?
I just want to take this real quick minute to give you a little appreciation, Andrew. You've got to be one of the most physically and mentally conditioned people I've ever met in my entire life.
Facts.
Oh, well, why do you say that?
Just like the things that you tell me about, like how you manage to like do your breathing and all that. It just seems like you're very aware of your surroundings.
He is.
You're very smart.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I don't think I'm smart. I think I'm like a straw man.
Far from it. You are extremely intelligent. Sorry, I'm over here trying to edit the description of the podcast because I just realized that all of those postings went out saying that we were sitting down with Mike, and I'm like, I don't want to like confuse people.
See, this is me.
This is me, yo. I'm gonna change it from Adam and Andrew sit down, Michael Goodenough, and a whole description, and say Adam and Andrew sit down, enjoy. Oh man. So you've been riding your bike a shit ton. I keep meaning to go on a bike ride, but now I feel like I would have to wait for you to ride 60 miles and then go on a short little bike ride with you.
Yeah. So I'm super proud of it. Here's the bike that I got. I'm pulling it up on my share screen. So it's not like a crazy impressive bike, but oh man, is she beautiful.
It is pretty.
It's nice. It's a nice color. It's a nice fit. This bicycle actually fits me. So the first bike that I had was a Cannondale, and it was made for someone that's like 6'3".
Oh man.
So I made some adjustments, and I don't know if you can see my cursor here, but on bikes they've got a I don't know what this is called, but it was shortened because I'm shorter than 6'3", and this seat was also way down here, whereas on my bike it fits properly. So yeah, I've been doing quite a bit of miles. Every week I add about 10 miles. So now this morning I just completed 70.
Jesus.
Next week it'll be about 80. And then I think once I can do 80 miles, I think I can just do 100. So that's been my goal, is to do 100 miles. And once I do that, I might end up just doing like, you know what? I'm going to ride to the western tip of Massachusetts. So that might take me like 2 days.
He's going to ride to Springfield and back just for fun.
Yeah, 15 hours.
Hey, are you
riding through the night?
Are you going to join the Thick Boys Bike Club?
What is that?
It's Brendan Schaub's new bike club.
I didn't know he rode bikes.
Dude, he's been riding bikes through the Hollywood Hills like religiously.
For real?
Yeah,
for real?
Yeah.
Wow, good for you, Brendan. I actually just thought that he would make fun of bikes.
He said he's been getting made fun of a lot by
Segura?
Wow. No, Callan.
Oh yeah, that's their MO though. They always poke fun at each other.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Mr. Halfwit over here, I forgot to share again.
Oh, you didn't share? Yeah, I just finished sharing all the pages and everything. What's up, Eric? What's up, Melissa? People popping in and out. This is a birthday podcast. That's what this turned into.
Yeah, I've got to go get another beer. Actually, another beer. I haven't had one yet. I'm drinking seltzer.
I know, you got to grab one. Birthday beers. Dude, oh my God.
Wait, that's not the one. I'm not wearing a sweater. Are we at? This is it. All right.
The best time to wear a striped sweater
is all the time.
SpongeBob references are always welcome here.
Isaac made one before we went live, right? What did he say? Isaac, come back. What did you say? You made a SpongeBob reference. Was it a song?
Yeah, maybe the hash slinging slasher.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's
the
hilarious.
Hash slinging slasher. I remember that dude. He's a creepy little guy, right? The Hash.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was flickering all the lights.
Dude,
there he is.
Old man Jenkins.
Yeah, and his eyes, it was actually his nose. He had a spatula for
yeah.
The best
Yep.
underwear stripes.
So also,
Ooh,
everybody watching
getting
this,
somewhere.
we discovered that if you're a part of the live stream, you can share your screen, which is super cool because we get to show you stuff like this.
This is so much. This is like almost more fun than doing in person.
Right. Right? I mean, the advantages. We could watch movies,
Oh my god.
like little clips and videos.
We could watch Survivor.
We could watch Survivor and
Oh,
break
there's
it
so
down.
many UFC fights. Like there was fights on Saturday. There was fights yesterday, and there's fights again on Saturday.
Wow. I heard that was it was a little strange, like them fighting to no one.
Yeah, I heard
Like
Rogan talking
zero
about
crowd.
that. He said it was more strange that he had to sit so far away from his other commentators. Like they were sitting on opposite sides of the octagon. Two of them were. It's a little bit insane, but you know, I don't. I think it's a little bit overkill. I think Rogan was talking about that too, because they were all tested and they're all negative. So why? Like I get the social distancing and everything, but if you're in a contained environment where nobody's left and you've all been tested, and there's only negative cases there, then you know. And he said that they were tested multiple times before they went there.
Right. So that even pulls out of the whole 30% are falsely negative. So I mean, if you test more than once, you should be good. Chances are. So I mean, the guys fighting weren't social distancing for sure.
Yeah, no,
It would be a
not
boring
at all.
fight.
They just shadow box from across the like. No, I hit
Right.
you. No, I hit
Yeah.
you.
It's in the honor system. You got to go down like fake wrestling.
That'd be hilarious. I gotta remember my Adobe username. I can't remember the username. The best time to wear. I just someday I'm gonna figure out how to go live on Instagram, and we're gonna get this shit popping, yo.
Oh, it didn't work, did it?
No, it didn't work because my Flash player is all wiggity whack, yo.
Yeah. Flash
So,
players.
I thought
Let's
that
see.
I figured it out, but I guess not. See if that works. If not, then I don't know. So we have been fortunate enough to get some of the grants and loans from some of the government assistant programs for small businesses and everything. And unfortunately, a lot of businesses have not. I I was thinking about this earlier and like ways that we could help businesses get it, and I'm not really sure how to at this point. I'm not even sure what's available anymore. But if you've missed out on the PPP loan and you missed out on everything, I know there's a second round of the EIDL grants that come with a loan as well if you want it. It's like a advancement of a loan, and then they give you a certain amount for a loan, and you could take it or not. So definitely look into that if you're an entrepreneur and a business owner. I know we've been kind of like funny this podcast, but I was thinking about that like before the show. And I was hoping that Mike was going to know a little bit more about it because I still haven't researched it much. Every time I look it up, it goes to the first round of EIDL stuff. So I'm like,
Yeah, I always whenever somebody asks me like, "Oh, how are you doing?" I feel kind of guilty in a way because like, right? Because we're not supposed to be doing well. So whenever someone like I just say unbelievable. I'm like things are going great, but I always feel bad saying it because there's
mm-hmm.
so many people that aren't doing well right now that are really crumbling and it's like we wish we could help and do something, but like what do we do?
Yeah. There's
Right?
not really too much we can do because well, you know what? There is stuff we can do, and we are trying to help. Like with the help our friends section on our website, we add businesses to that so we can help promote them with our increased website traffic. Hopefully, bring some people towards their websites and make some purchases as well. so that way we're giving back at least a little bit. But it's hard. Like everybody's struggling, and we don't have a storefront really. We're just working from online, so there's only so much we can do. And we've been trying to get people on here to kind of like promote them. I've been trying to do the same with my show, and it's been just it's been a lot of stress for a lot of people. I feel like we're just kind of getting out of the stressful period for ourselves. And it's kind of it's kind of nice, and hopefully we can provide some relief to other businesses, just kind of guiding them towards what's next and what's available now. But yeah, just wanted to throw that little tidbit in there.
Yeah. So what I heard yesterday, I think I first heard this from you, Adam, is that LA went on a 3-month, they extended, or the mayor, I think, extended the lockdown for 3 months. So I don't know if this is going to be the first wave, because what's going to happen, right? The same thing that happened before in February, March, everyone who didn't lock down got criticized. Like, why didn't you lock down? And then all the people that did are sort of getting praised for it. But right now, the mayors, everybody's kind of like, dude, what are you doing? Another 3 months? Are you serious? But what if things really go south within the next 15 days? He's gonna be like, I told you so.
Yeah, maybe he's waiting for that "I told you so" moment.
Yeah, but it's a gamble.
It is definitely a gamble. It seems like, I don't know. It seems like everybody's kind of in agreement that we should just open up, see what happens. Like if you're high risk, if you're elderly, maybe stay quarantined, like for your own sake. But we need to, I think, see what happens. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
It's that middle ground. What I don't like about this whole situation is people are looking at it like politics. It's you're either left or blue or red, and that isn't the case. And most people are purple, right? A mixture of both liberal and conservative. And I think that's the case for this scenario as well. It's not fully stay closed and fully go back. It's got to be some middle ground that has to work. I mean, I don't know the answers. I'm not a specialist, but I do know that this isn't sustainable. I think we all can agree on that, right?
Yeah. I'm a little bit worried that they're going to prematurely open, like the malls and stuff, where there's going to be like no traffic, and we're going to have to pay a rent with no traffic, essentially. That's going to be something that kind of really sucks. I think, I don't know. We gotta just figure it out. The malls work with us for the most part on trying to make sure that we're good. So we just gotta push to make sure we're good.
Yeah, for the most part.
It's like, hey, we need some help, or we're not gonna be able to do this. Just being real, we're like a small business, like we can't do what these big businesses are doing. They're paying rent still and not even hurting. And it's just, they're going to be able to write it off at the end of the year and be perfectly fine. And probably make more money from it. We're like, not there yet. Nope. Come on.
Yeah.
Help us out. Give us a break. But I'm excited for when things do eventually get back to normal. Hopefully, I don't know when that's going to be, because I'm seeing towns canceling 4th of July stuff now. And that's a little bit concerning to me, because I'm like, you're canceling 4th of July stuff. Like, what are you trying to tell us?
Yeah. No celebrating independence.
Yeah. I feel like people are going to get a little bit stir crazy when they can't celebrate their independence and they're completely not independent.
Yeah, right. Why would you cancel fireworks? Like, why not just live stream them? Do it, and then live stream it. There you go. You want to see it? At least it's going on. It's still happening.
Yeah, or like, I don't know, only allow so many people and box out 6 foot. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much.
Yeah, make it like a draft. If you're assign numbers, like, oh, if you were born on this day, this day, this day, you're free to roam.
First come, first serve.
Yeah. So this is this podcast is pretty much kind of like we didn't really plan it at all.
No, nope.
So like the not that we're scripted ever, but most of the time we have like an idea, like, oh, this happened. So we're really going to go in depth on here. We were going to talk to Mr. Michael Goodenough, but like we mentioned, I hope he's all right.
Yeah,
I hope his tire's good. But
we could still talk about hemp.
We could still talk about hemp.
We do have quite a bit going on with hemp.
Yeah, and the new land. That's real big news.
Ooh-wee.
It's not 100% official yet, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. It's basically a golf course, and we're turning a golf course into a hemp farm. Like, what is better than that?
Being able to film it and document it.
Ooh.
You know, so that's huge too, is being able to use these new cameras that we got to actually get some interesting footage and do some documenting.
Yep.
It's all fun.
We're gonna be able to really make some good content, and I really hope that we can kind of. I know that we can work out our vision of everything. And we're gonna have some bomb content for people soon. I know it. Like, we're gonna have some like crazy shit that we did not even expect to have type of content.
What are you most looking forward to in the next 6 weeks?
Ooh, 6 weeks. I am definitely looking forward to inking the deal with the new farm and getting started and planted and getting all set up. I'm also looking forward to having official audio and visual on everything. It's going to add a whole new layer. I think it's time for Gary Vee to come on now. You know, like, it's it's overdue. And now we got the official shit to be able to do it. And he's in lockdown. I know that he's got a half hour for us. Come on, fam.
Come on, Gary. And you know what's interesting? He's still using his phone. He doesn't have a really super nice camera setup.
No.
He's just a G.
Courtney said I was extra today, and I was like, you're right. I am extra. I've always been extra.
What does that mean?
Like,
you're extra.
I'm just I don't know. I just, like, when I envision a situation, I envision like not the best past the best situation sometimes. And I'm just like so extra in everything that I do. What did I do today that she said I was extra?
I've never heard that before. I don't even know what that, like, extra, like, it's forced.
It's like a I don't know what kind of term that is. I don't know.
Like a star term? Player? Extra.
No.
Does it mean like you're being like a favorite student?
No, it means you're being like too much.
Oh, okay. All right. I get it.
Yeah. So
like when you forced, like when you force a situation.
Yeah, basically. And like, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna go do yoga before I take a shower. She's like, you already did yoga today. I was like, yeah, but I just chopped wood and I'm gonna go stretch. She's like, well, then just stretch. I was like, no, I want to do yoga. She's like, why do you have to be so extra? Like, why can't you just kind of stretch your back and then go shower? And I was like, because I want to do yoga again.
Yeah, hey, you're on this health kick. I think I'm gonna go ride my bike.
I wish I could say I was on a health kick, but I'm more on like a, I don't know, stretching my body kick, because I've been, sounds
healthy to me.
Every time that I chopped wood today, my belly jiggled a little, like still got I got the quarantine fat, like I thought this was gonna go south, and we were gonna be screwed.
The shelter in place bod.
Yeah, the shelter in place bod is exactly what I had. I have the best shelter in place bod there ever was. It's tremendous.
It's unbelievable,
dude. Where have Trump's daily briefings been? I missed them.
Oh, he doesn't do them anymore? I haven't been interested in the news whatsoever.
I don't think he does them anymore. I'm gonna
Yeah,
say he doesn't.
I think after he thought out loud about using disinfectant in people's lungs, I think that really sent him in the other direction. I think that maybe his whole team is like, maybe we're doing too much.
Yeah, or
Maybe we shouldn't expose as much.
maybe he was like, I'm a little bit in over my head. I don't know I don't know what because there is like UV light treatment that they've used to kill and like I don't know. I don't understand it all. I'm not gonna pretend to, and because I'll sound stupid too. But that's what he did. Is it sounded like he pretended to talk about something that exists, but talked about it in like a really it's like basically disinfecting the blood, right? You know, like
Like there's like some legitimate like people that actually have tested like UV, but he was just thinking out loud, you know.
yeah,
That's what happens. He's got no filter, and he just kind of went. But then, like when you think about it, like or at least I'm envisioning like injecting bleach directly into like the soft tissue of the lungs. Like that's fucking hilarious. I remember I
oh,
first heard that. And I'm like, no way. He must have been joking. And then I watched the video back, and this makes it even better.
yeah, he really did basically say that. He wasn't good.
Hilarious.
It didn't look good.
He is so funny. He is so funny, and that might be why he doesn't do the briefings anymore. Hey,
Yeah.
Isaac, can you come back, fill my shoes? I'm gonna go grab a beer.
Yep.
Oh, you're gonna let me sit with Isaac? We might start talking about conspiracies.
No, we can just start talking.
I'm just kidding. So for everybody that doesn't know, I don't know. Did you run last week's AA show?
Hmm.
Oh, okay. So I guess whatever. Isaac is here. Isaac is our assistant, running everything in the background. Everything you see as an overlay, he's doing all that.
What's poppin', y'all?
What's popping, y'all? I am really getting frustrated with Adobe right now because it keeps asking me to sign in, and I've reset my password and everything, and it's just not meant to be tonight. So guess I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, Adobe can be kind of tricky. Sometimes when I'm running Premiere Pro, it'll randomly just crash.
Yeah.
Like all the time.
Oh man, I can't wait to get started on like editing more video, getting some more official shit set up.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's exciting. Now you can finally start playing around with Premiere Pro.
I got to get your login info because I know we switched everything, or just changed the password to the use.
Yeah, it should be. I don't think I changed it. Should
Oh.
be this. Did you try logging in?
Oh no, which email is it under?
I'll have to look. We have for everyone who doesn't know, we have like 18 emails. So like going back and finding stuff is like, oh, it's such a pain because you got to go like Google search Gmail and every single one.
I went through and picked like the top 20 things that we needed out of the other 18 and put it into the one main, but it's still a shit show. It's like, oh man, I wish we could pay somebody to just run through all that stuff and put it all into one. And then that's probably going to change too because we're trying to buy. Yeah. So it's like
we're trying. He didn't finish. We're trying to buy urbanacres.com.
Yes.
So no mess ups. So because it happens all the time where people think like, oh, it must have been a typo. It's not urbanacres.co, but com. So we're trying to buy that, and then when that does happen, we'll have to switch over all the emails again. So we'll have 20.
Yeah.
Does someone own that website right now?
GoDaddy.
Damn, they got you unlocked with that.
They did get us unlocked because you can search there. You can search publicly who owns the website, and I've searched urbanacres.com and it says GoDaddy, and it says April 1st, 2019, and that's probably the first time I searched urbanacres.com.
They're so sneaky, you know.
Damn.
And then they send us a message like, "Oh, do you want to try to outbid it?"
Yeah.
You ask for like $1 to $500. Like, you guys suck.
Yeah, it's I really hope they just like, all right, you know, I just have it.
Yeah, I mean, that's real estate, right?
Yeah.
If they have the opportunity, it's just sneaky. You know, it's like snake oil kind of thing.
I think I remember that happening too, because I must have searched it before April 1st then, because I must have searched it a few times, because I remember saying to you like, oh, it's still available, like website's
Mhm.
still available, and we just kind of like didn't do the website until August or so, and it was like I remember in April being like, dude, the .com's gone.
They snatched it.
Snicker snacker, yes, snicker snacker. I broke it. Um. Oh shit. I want to talk about cannabis on this podcast too, but this isn't really a cannabis podcast. I don't think. I was just thinking about our distillate and how amazing it is, and
It's
how
pretty
many
nice.
cannabinoids we found inside of it, and how I was just thinking about it because I have some high THC cannabis oil, and I was thinking about how nice ours is too.
So Luis is a farmer, I'd say he's more of an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, and he lives in Connecticut. And we went to visit his farm, and he's working with a nursery farmer, a grower, and they've got a bunch of plants and a bunch of big greenhouses. I was really envious, but the whole point of this is after we left, and we were looking at clones. After we left, Luis gave us these little gummies, and they're the CBD gummies and regular THC gummies. And he's like, there's about 10 to 15 milligrams in each one of these gummies. I'm like, uh-oh. So what I did, I'm like, I want to try one. So I ate one too much. I have to cut them in half. It was a little too much. If I had to go in public, I would have been a little kind of scared.
And
So I think my dose is 7 milligrams.
so, do you
Anything
want to
more
tell
than
them
that
what
is a
I
little too
did
much.
with the
You ate the
THC
whole.
edibles?
He ate the whole fucking jar.
There's like 20 pieces. I didn't even feel it at all.
That is so fun.
Oh
That is so
god
insane.
damn.
The
That's
whole jar.
insane. You ate 20
All of them. There was probably 20 to 25 pieces in there, and
and
I
you
ate
didn't
all of
feel
them.
anything.
Yeah, and then I ate some of the CBD gummies too. Like I was just,
So you just have like insane tolerance.
yeah, I think my liver just doesn't function correctly, and the enzymes just don't break down the THC into the 11 hydroxy THC that makes
It,
you.
I also heard that like if you like use Fico, the oil, and do dabs, your tolerance goes way up. Like it can jolt it.
I've always been this way though. Like even I mean, unless like dabs like just permanently damage you forever, like to the point where edibles don't affect you. But I mean, I know a lot of people that do dabs, and when they do edibles, they get fucked up.
That's
But
true too. You gotta do some tests.
yeah, we got to do genetic testing to see what my liver enzyme levels are like. I don't want to do it.
Right.
I don't like giving them my DNA.
What are they gonna do with it? They're
Make
gonna
a
make a bunch
clone,
of you. Yeah, they're gonna make clones of you.
dude.
Have you seen that movie, The Island?
And then they'll own
No.
Urban Acres.
Yeah. He's gonna have to clone Adam's gonna have to grow his hair though.
Yeah, well, maybe it'll come with long hair, right?
Like 3D printed.
I mean, like, because what if they cloned a woman? Wouldn't the woman have to come out with long hair, or would she have to be
I think it
bald
would.
for a few years before she came out in public?
I think it would come out as a baby, and then it would have to grow up. I
A
think.
oh,
Yeah.
I was just thinking like duplicate, like, hey Adam, like
Yeah. I think it would take some time. I think you'd be 30 years ahead.
I don't know, man, because they did that to a sheep in like '95.
Yeah. They did, but the sheep had to grow up. Like it
Did it?
came out as a baby. Yeah. So they took the DNA of Dolly, which was the sheep, and then they injected into an embryo of some other sheep, and then it came out with the identical DNA. I don't know if there's a way to super age real fast. But
Benjamin Button.
Elon Musk was talking something about that, right? Wasn't he talking about how you could do like some altered carbon shit and upload your consciousness onto a chip within 5 years?
I don't know. I've seen too many cloning movies to really why to really like think that
See,
it's
now,
not true.
what is your take on that whole 5-year thing? Because I have some opinions on
Oh,
that.
are you talking about Elon Musk saying that within 5 years we're not going
Yeah,
to be talking to each other? We'll just be talking to each other through our minds.
yeah.
How wait, let's play this out right now. How fun would this be? Ready? Nobody communicate. Perfect. That's what life's going to be like in 5 years. That's what streaming is going to be.
I don't know if that's right, man. I really don't know.
Imagine
if that's
a live stream where you don't have to really watch, you're just instantly connected. Your brain is instantly connected with the whole world, and they're thinking and sharing your thoughts all at the same time.
Nobody needs that.
I feel like there would be a lot
much.
of suicide rate increase.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think there's a lot of repercussions of like human existence that people don't take into that advancement. Like what's going to happen to like sports competitions? They're going to be completely not able because then you'll be able to see what the other team's thinking. Everything, like, it would erase all competition.
Maybe they would have a different league, like the All-Stars.
Esports.
Yeah. Some kind of like crazy, like super athletes, like half robots. Because that's super nuts. Imagine being able to be 50% stronger just with a chip in your brain because the impulses, the electrical impulses, are just stronger. So you can jump twice as high. Sign me up. I'll be 5 years. I'll be like the iPhone 6. Once there's like the iPhone 6 equivalent, then I'll get it. Right? The iPhone 6, I mean, that's really when they nailed it. I think.
Yeah, that's when everything like started to blow up. I would say that's when I think the iPhone 5 like caught the attention.
Actually, no, it was the 4S. It was when they introduced Siri, and it was 4S.
Yeah, so I'll wait for generation 4.
4S.
But then again,
it's important.
then again, they're saying how what happens if you miss out, like on the movie Limitless. Now, you start taking this Limitless pill, then your brain power exceeds everybody else on the planet. So within the time of generation 2, 3, and 4, you could get way far ahead in business and pretty much everything in your life. So it is truly a gamble. What if you get hacked? What if it doesn't work and all of a sudden you lose sensation in all of your toes?
See, my thing with that is just if you have that in your head consciously, you're not going to know what thoughts are your own and what thoughts are being electromagnetically pulsed into your system. And I just feel like the second that you give up the ability to think for yourself, then you really just become a slave mentally and now physically and circulatory. Because if you did one thing, because that's just a lot more monetarization. And if you do one thing that someone doesn't like, switch of a button, you're out like a light.
That's true. They could just shut you off. Turn the power off.
That's the last thing I'm going to say. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to figure out why the comment, Isaac, on your side, are the Facebook comments popping up? Because there's people commenting.
No, not at all.
Let's see.
Are you in private chat or live comments?
I'm in live comments.
I'm in the live comments, and usually it pops through on StreamYard to allow us to put them up on screen, and it's not allowing that to happen right now. I don't understand what's happening. Huh? Weird. Must be just an error. Must happen once in a while. There's probably a ton of people live streaming.
I definitely think 5 years is not enough time.
No, definitely not.
General public.
Well, how is there going to be stand-up comedy? How would you do stand-up comedy without speaking?
Or motivational speeches.
Yeah, or a lecture at college.
All right, well, it would all be in your head. Like you would have these conversations, but you wouldn't actually have to hear them. So your brain, you can be tricked. So it'll go directly into your brain and you'll hear, just as you can have internal chatter, you're not making any noise, but you can understand your inner monologue. I think I'm just
But
assuming.
how do you like
that's what
give
it would
somebody
be.
permission to it? You know, like is it like a all of a sudden you get a like "Bing-doo" in your head? It's like, do
Yeah,
you want to give permission to Andy to look at your thoughts? I'm like,
I
fuck no, I don't want anybody to see this shit.
I wonder if there'll be like a little permission button that you'll have to like blink 3 times, or
Oh
if
my
if
god,
it just registers like
this is
your
real life.
overall feel.
This is real life. I mean, the Neuralink is real. Elon's talking about it. It's not a fake thing. It's happening currently.
I mean, just the ability to, if somebody loses an arm or is a quadriplegic, and you can just implant this, and all of a sudden, not only can they walk again, but they can walk faster. They're stronger. That's unbelievable. And the thing comes is, do you want your quadriplegic friend to be stronger than you? That's why people are going to want to take it. Like, oh, I want one of those too. Like, oh, your vision can be better.
But I think at the same time, it's gonna like in the beginning, it's gonna be about money, like everything. And I think the wrong people could buy up the real estate with it and then own everybody. You bought a Neuralink. I own all these serial numbers.
It's a dangerous game.
Yeah, it sure is.
Elon seems like a decent enough guy. Hopefully, hopefully he won't sell everybody's brain to the government. But
I heard that the new Teslas, you have to purchase the ability to self-drive. How
so hold
bullshit
on,
is that, though?
we have to talk about Neuralink a little bit more. So Shayla's in the comments and she said, "Wait, what about people without an internal monologue?" I have so many questions right now, and so maybe people don't know what Neuralink is.
So Neuralink is it's a little tiny chip, and what they do is, or what they're going to do, is they're going to drill out a section of your skull, like with an auger or a drill bit. They're going to take out a piece, and they're going to replace it with a chip, and this chip is implanted very fine-tuned with like a robotic fingers, and it places the electrodes exactly where it needs to go, and those electrodes fill in the gap. So when you have brain damage, or I'm not a scientist, I'm not a, what are they called, neuroscientist? That isn't me. I'm just regurgitating what I've heard. So what they do is, what this chip is going to do is it replaces frayed wires, if you will. So sometimes with mental disease or with quadriplegia, there's signals that aren't getting to where they need to go. The electrical impulses in the brain aren't traveling down the spinal column to the muscles, telling them to move. So what this chip is going to do is it's going to increase the capacity, increase the electrical output to make those connections. So that's what they do. I don't know about in the internal monologue. I don't know how that is going to work. It just, Elon Musk said that within 5 years, you won't need to physically communicate. You can just kind of talk through the computer, Bluetooth. I don't know what it is. But that's my narrow understanding of it. It's new age.
It's
nuts.
It's nuts. It's untested. Like talk about like things that need to be tested and how long was cannabis put off because they're like, we don't know if it's safe, but we're just gonna fucking implant chips into our brain. And
right.
Robert Hocko commented and said it's how he talks to computers. So
he's ahead. He's ahead of the curve. We have to take notes from him.
Hocko said, "Wait, there are people." Hell no, they aren't. Shayla said. Hocko said, "Wait, there are people with no inner monologue." I don't know. We had this. I asked this question the other day. I mean, not the other day. A few months ago to Andy, and I was like, "Hey, do you have internal chatter in your head all the time?" He's like, "Yeah, of course."
I do all the time.
And I've been trying to. Oh, Eric says, "Cheers, boys! Cheers! It's Thirsty Thursday, the normal day that we meet up."
Cheers, Eric.
Shit, what were we were talking about Neuralink. I am never getting that shit. Fuck that. I am never drilling no hole in my skull.
Oh man, I can't wait for it. I can't wait to have eagle vision and be able to see at night and hear from you do a really good hawk sound. Yeah, well, I was thinking of something too.
But what if you lost? What if like
Hypothetically.
the loss was outweighed the advantage?
What would the losses be?
Your consciousness.
Yeah, I don't want to lose that.
The true definition of you.
It's like selling
like
your soul to the devil.
you would have
You're
to have
selling
like
your soul
a
to
hit.
technology.
You'd have to figure out how to have like a hidden consciousness to your consciousness to have like thoughts that nobody heard. Like it'd be like a
Yeah, you have to be super like
next
woke.
dimension. Yeah.
So I did hear a story. This was about 2 years ago. I heard this story, and it was about a middle-aged woman, and she really cared about all of her files. She would take pictures of her grandkids at birthday parties and of her dog and all these special memories. And then one day, she realized that all of the files on her computer were stolen by hackers in Russia or China or wherever. And they said, you can have your files back, but you have to pay. Now I'm thinking, what happens if people hack into your own brain and say, hey, listen, we hacked your shit. We're going to erase all of your memories unless you give us money.
Mm-hmm.
This could be a fiction novel.
I mean, we already live in a movie,
Basically.
especially right now.
I was saying to you, Andy, like, because you were saying that like, because I really want a Tesla, really, really, really bad, but at the same time, I want like a '67 Shelby GT500 because it doesn't have a computer in it, and they can't hack it and drive me off the road. Like that's where my mind goes. I'm like,
Adam, I feel you on that 100%, like 150%. I'm so down with saving all that gas, but like, I don't know. Someone could hack your car.
yeah, facts. It could. I used to think that when I had my really nice Accord, I was like, damn, somebody could hack this probably real easy.
Yeah, I'll take my chances. Hack into me. Hack into my car.
I probably personally know people that have the ability that know how to do that. Like it's probably not even that hard.
Well, I think I did hear on the podcast with Joe Rogan and Tom Papa. They were talking about Elon Musk holding a competition, and they said if you can hack into one of our Teslas, you can get one. And apparently, somebody did and exposed a flaw in the system, and by holding that competition, they were able to see the flaw and patch it. So how cool is that? That is brilliant.
Cool.
He is he's a smart dude.
I want to know if they've run it again. They need to run that contest again to see now if somebody could do it again.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to run a lot of those contests on the Neuralink.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's
I just feel like 5 years is not enough time.
No.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know how fast this is going. What is that Bitcoin? What is that blockchain? What if it's some blockchain that's seemingly impossible to hack?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Next, I'm going to talk about inhaling disinfectant.
Tremendous. The most tremendous. Shayla said, "Oh my God, stop! I think we're freaking around with all this crazy talk." But they are, I think it's going to be an easy sell, the Neuralink, to a lot of people because I feel like we're already so attached to AI, like our cell phones and our technology already, that it's going to be
Apple
just
glasses.
Yeah. Well,
wait till that's the thing.
Google Glasses was a thing back in like 2010, and then it kind of went off the market because I think it was too far advanced for what people could really even fathom at that point.
Yeah, they were ugly too.
They would sell like insane now.
It would become fashionable though, just because they cost fucking like $15,000.
Like look at this guy. He looks like a welder.
It kind of looked like Dragon Ball Z. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, see, look at him. He looks like Dragon Ball Z.
He looks like
the scouter.
Bill Clinton found technology.
No, look at it over like the right eye. It looks like it's like a Dragon Ball Z.
It does look like Dragon Ball Z. It looks like the scouter.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. My brother was super into that.
The low key is fire, but I would not rock.
I would rock because I had laser eye surgery. Now I can wear glasses and Google glasses.
I just feel like as a society we become way too reliant on our distractions.
Did I spell contacts wrong? They got to do that next. Contact lenses.
Oh,
That's scary. That's scary.
Oh yeah, I want my shit to look like that. That looks like regular colored contact lenses. But yeah, that's pretty intense stuff. And you just kind of blink.
So you're like on the wave with this whole becoming human and machine meshed
hybrids
together.
Yeah, I'm really on board with it.
Hako said it makes you wonder what phase they're really at with Neuralink already. Because normally they don't start talking about technology till it's 25 years in the making already.
Yeah, that's a good point. I really think he's close.
Yeah. So he's probably already been working on it since like 85, like 95 or so, maybe 1990. So he also said, imagine an AR contact lens.
That's it, man.
Cool. I don't know.
You don't feel like that would erase like a figment of your humanity?
Well, how do you know what's real after that? If you have an augmented or a virtual reality contact, like how do you know that you actually took out the contact and it wasn't part of the game? Like,
well, I mean, we kind of see that now. Like I don't know about you guys, but I've had dreams where I'm like, did I dream that? Because the memory of a dream is exactly the same as the memory of something that actually happened. And sometimes I'll even like imagine something happening one way and then really find out that it wasn't that way at all. But to me, the memory is so clean and crisp. So I can see what you're saying, Adam, where you won't know, is that a real memory or what did that happen in my my AI state?
Mm-hmm.
So it's
just so subjective, and like it can so easily be twisted and wired like without your knowing, and like you reality and fantasy would be one and the same.
Yeah, somebody commented and said only one lens. Hako said that only one lens that's how you would know you're not in reality. But I think if you only have one lens, what would happen is your optic nerves are connected. It's all connected to one optic nerve. So what would happen is the one contact would probably patch into your optic nerve to be able to make your other eye see the virtual reality. So it wouldn't matter that you only have one contact in, because if you never took that contact out for real, if it was only in the virtual reality that you took it out, you just became another simulation. And maybe that's what this shit all is.
Maybe.
Eric says that was the gummies. Like, no, we had gummies 2 days ago. This wasn't.
Yeah. This is gummyless.
I mean, I did have a pretty big dab before I got on air, but and I have done yoga twice today, so I'm feeling like just I don't know. I
just can't see realistically, and also like from a spiritual standpoint, how this wouldn't backfire, and like the American people wouldn't become the most I once heard someone say, to believe in the American dream you have to be asleep to believe it. And I almost feel like if this is to where our society moves, we'll be completely unaware of the world and true reality. And I feel like it loses touch with your inner energy, and that's really how you can connect and achieve anything.
Or we'll become so hyper aware that life is just like a weird fucking thing. Like it's already, I feel like with social media, I feel like people have already become so hyper aware of everybody's life. You know, it's already like so much internal chatter that people have put out on social media that they would have never said to their friends 40 years ago, you know? So it's like, what's going to happen when you can read each other's minds is just going to be like another level. That's why I'm saying you need to have like a level of consciousness to your consciousness. It's going to be a fucked up mindset to have.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like, what happens to a country that, let's say, everybody gets this right, and the whole country is 100 IQ points higher? That's it. It's over. No one would be able to compete if everyone is like 10 times smarter, or even 20% smarter than before. It would be a new revolution,
Jeff Holman says, "Hey guys."
Yo, what's up, Jeff? I wish we had the comments popping up so
I
I could
know.
see.
I don't. This is the first time that this has happened. It's I don't know what's going on here, but technical difficulties happen once in a while. I'm not
Or,
able to-
everyone can get it, and there goes the switch. Humanity becomes enslaved.
Maybe those stop and shop robots that do inventory aren't actually inventory robots, but they're like beep 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 pop beep boop. Did you speaking of robots, did you see that there was robotic dogs in some, I think it was in the UK and some of the parks telling people to leave and shit? It was those bionic dogs that Boston Dynamics was testing out that you could like kick over and beat up and they just get right back up and can do whatever.
I did not hear that, and that's kind of scary. That reminds me of that Black Mirror episode.
Mm-hmm.
Where they train those robotic dogs to go and kill people.
Yep.
Black Mirror.
Joe Rogan was talking about that, how the Black Mirror producer had to stop what he was doing for this season because it basically became too real.
I mean, it's cool in that anything that you can imagine can be a reality. I mean, that's the way it seems like it's going. If you can imagine it, you can make it happen. What a fantastic place we live in.
If you can dream it, you can believe it.
I don't know. Me personally, I think that is like the Neuralink is probably one of the worst things that we could do as a functioning society.
But what if it's one of the best?
What if it's the only way to keep up with the AI?
That's true.
Ooh.
Didn't think of that.
Valid question.
I just can't see like a world where like every moral standard and like there's like so many internal repercussions that will like have ripples through every existence of things that we understand and know in our life will be totally different. Like even relationships will be different.
Oh
my God, you could never get away.
Never.
Jeff says it's the aliens. It might be. It might be the aliens, Jeff. Don't mock the aliens.
I'm sure we'll have like it'll have a do not disturb mode.
The aliens?
No, our Neuralinks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it just has to be.
You think so? You think there's going to be a way to turn it off?
No.
Yeah, I think you can. I mean, you can always. I mean, Elon Musk says you can take it out, but once you've experienced superhuman abilities, why would you ever want to go back? It's like power. Once you get more power, why would you ever want to stop? It's like Magneto.
See, and that's a horrible way to look at it.
You just want to be better. Don't you want to be better?
What's wrong with how you are right now? You are the way you are for a reason.
No, I want to be better.
But you can achieve that on your own.
I want to be.
Dude, think about how good he is
do it
right
faster.
Now. Now picture him 100 IQ points smarter. You know, like
that's all of us, right? We can all be better. I can jump higher. Imagine just putting something in my head and I can go for 200 miles on my bicycle.
I've always wanted to
without. You'd be able to do it easy. They'd actually probably have to engineer a new basketball hoop just for you.
That's good. I'd be going pro right away, playing alongside LeBron.
Yeah,
see, I feel like that just ruins so many things, though.
Yeah, it's like steroids. Are they gonna have like
way better?
These sports leagues where they're like, oh, they test for Neuralink and they make sure you don't have Neuralink because it would be unfair if they let Neuralink athletes in. But then they have a Neuralink athlete league and they all fucking kill each other.
Imagine if you could program it to replicate the effects of being drunk without the negatives of actually doing that to your body.
See, but that twists everything. Like the way I look at this whole thing is just, this is not. If something is too good to be true, it is.
What about the motor vehicle, the car? I mean, back in the day,
you
think like, there's no way. You're right. It did some damage, but there's no way we could have advanced without the car. or fire or metal.
Yeah, without my car, I wouldn't do shit. So
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to bike everywhere, and that's just not efficient.
no, you'd have thighs like crazy.
Until you had a Neuralink.
Right, and I could pedal much faster. Oh, I'd win races.
Yeah, but somebody else with a Neuralink would be right beside you, and they'd be programming 1 mile per hour more until you guys both fucking crashed and blew up.
Yeah, until a chain broke.
And what if this like
This is gonna-
landed into the hands of the person? Then you create real life super villains.
There'll be villains for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
Like
be
the
one.
modern day Hitlers with Neuralinks.
That's horrible.
That's why.
terrible.
That's why.
Why
That's
is that
why we
even
need
like a
4.
possibility of existence?
Because these Neuralinks will also breed Iron Mans. They will also breed Thors, and we'll pretty much be living another movie.
I can be your
This is
hero,
nuts.
baby. I think we've
Yeah.
gone so far left on this podcast.
It's
it
been
left?
interesting though.
Yeah, are we talking left? I don't even know. Is it blue?
Oh, I don't-
Is Neuralink a liberal
maybe
kind
we've
of
gone
thing?
so far sideways.
I don't know. I don't look at the fucking red and blue stuff. I just think what I think.
When I said
Exactly,
left,
that's
I
how
meant
it
like
should
we
be.
just went so off track for
Yeah.
This is the funniest podcast for AA for entrepreneurs.
We've
but I
just
love
been
it.
talking about Neuralink for an hour.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. At least we did intertwine some business aspects into it.
Elon, hit us up.
A time marked 30, and we've been talking about this since 30 minutes.
That's fascinating stuff. We could probably talk about it for another.
You could
30.
talk about it for like a couple hours because there's so many things. There's so many different like accountability factors that factor into everything that
Well,
goes
look it up right now, Isaac. Look it up on Google right now. Look up Neuralink.
Okay.
Let's look up videos of Neuralink because we're deep in this rabbit hole right now. We need to
All
get
right.
this subject
Adam,
off our plate.
not Adam, Andrew, your screen's on there. Why don't you?
Well, because you're like the
Yeah.
Jamie.
I don't know how to put my screen on there.
You have to just hit share screen.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. And then share your screen. Make sure there's nothing too crazy on there right now, before we share it.
Yeah,
But
you gotta tone it back.
we gotta find some videos of Neuralink.
Folders.
Life is a labyrinth, Jeff Homan said.
Oh, it's sure he's a writer.
Oh man.
Well said.
He's gonna write my eulogy.
I don't know if you can hear the volume though. That's the thing.
We shall see. It doesn't say that your screen is shared though, Isaac.
I was finding it first.
Yeah, this is gonna be dragging soon.
Oh, there we go.
Woo!
Can you hear it?
No. Maybe if we solo it.
Can you hear it, Isaac?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Weird. Maybe if you unplug your headphones.
That did it. Very loud.
I'm so smart.
Wow, look at this. Oh, that's
See,
that's the piece that's gonna be plugged into the brain.
These fuckers already got this shit built.
Oh yeah.
We're totally gonna get flagged for playing this. I don't even care.
Yeah, demonetized. There goes our cash.
Oh, we lost out on that 15 cents.
Look at this, but robots will be doing all the surgery. I don't trust that guy. I think wasn't he in the lab there?
Oh,
There's the robot. Oh, this stuff is so cool.
This
is kind of scary.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary.
Yeah.
Only
Do you think these come with like USB ports?
Yeah, like there's with technology comes hackers, so there's always going to come the people that are trying to hack into these things.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Full
So
screen.
that video was not Shutterstock. That was actually Neuralink. So that's actual video from the company. So if you want to get a sense for what it's like to work at Neuralink, that video is indicative of the atmosphere of Neuralink. It's an incredibly talented team, and you're going to hear a lot from them tonight. So we're going to actually go quite into depth on what we're doing, why we're doing, how we're doing it, and I'm just incredibly impressed with the caliber of talent at Neuralink. And in fact, the main reason for doing this presentation is recruiting.
He seems nervous.
And this will be a slow process.
That's just his personality. He's a super genius.
The issues that we solve until ultimately we can do a full brain-machine interface. Yeah, this is going to sound pretty weird, but achieve a sort of symbiosis with artificial intelligence. But I think with a high bandwidth brain-machine interface, I think we can actually go along for the ride. And we can effectively have the option of merging with AI. I think this is extremely important.
Composed of nearly 100 billion cells called neurons. Neurons come in many complex shapes, but generally they have a dendritic arbor, a cell body called.
All right, now this feels like science class.
I don't know, man. I feel like I'm learning some shit.
Oh, you want to watch it?
With each other using chemical signals called neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are released from the end of an axon in response to an electrical spike called an action potential. When a cell receives enough of the right kind of neurotransmitter input, a chain reaction is triggered that causes an action potential to fire, and the neuron to in turn relay messages to its own downstream synapses. Action potentials produce an electric field that spreads from the neuron and can be detected by placing electrodes nearby, allowing recording of the information represented by a neuron.
Where should you put your money?
Oh
People
my
ask me all the time,
God.
they say, Caleb, I got $10,000. I got $20,000, $5,000, $150,000.
I don't like that guy.
Our goal is to record from and neurons. So in a way that is orders of magnitude more than anything that's been done to date, and safe and
Safe.
you can, it's not like a major operation. It's sort of equivalent to sort of a laser type of thing. So this is in contrast to
It's like laser surgery.
best FDA approved system, which is
Laser surgery hurt, motherfucker. I've been through it.
thing which would have on the order of 10 electrodes. So the system, even in version 1 that we're
Version 1
today, is capable of 1,000 times more electrodes than the best.
Isaac, when was this video published?
It was published July 17th of 2019.
Oh, so this is old too.
And right. So this is really quite, I think, I mean, for something to be 1,000 times more than what is publicly approved is quite a big difference.
Quite a big difference.
There's very tiny threads that are about.
I feel like he's talking to us like we're all stupid. And he's trying to make it make sense to stupid people.
Area of human hair. So they're extremely tiny threads.
I appreciate it.
The threads that we have, like I said, even in version 1, are
I just
about
want
the
to
same
stay
size as a neuron.
human, man.
So if you're going to go stick something in your brain, you want it to not be giant. You want it to be tiny, and approximately
That's what she said.
the things that are already there, the neurons. You really need this to be done with a robot because it's very tiny and it needs to be very precise. So you don't want to pierce a blood vessel. So when so each thread, the robot looks sort of basically through a microscope and inserts each electrode specifically, bypassing any vasculature, any kind of like blood vessel, and making sure that if we inserted without causing trauma or minimal trauma,
Minimal.
So just to give you a
trouble.
sense of scale, this is how tiny the threads
Allegedly.
Ooh,
are. That is not even a big finger.
that's a ladybug.
Wow.
Look at that angel hair pasta coming out of it.
These threads are just like the in their hair, and there's 1,000 of them. And this is what the robot looks like.
Oh my god, that looks
It's
evil.
sort of a
Oh my god, it does. It looks like it has a voice.
complex device, but it
Maybe its
comes
name
down to
is
a very
Satan.
tiny point.
Is that a USB port at the end of it? It looked like it.
Just like
Look at it. Look at it. It's a USB port. You said it.
on the
Yeah,
left.
it does.
And then the what looks like the needles for insertion next to a penny, but in fact the actual needle that gets inserted is way tinier. It's that little tiny thing at the where the arrow is pointing. That's actually the size of the needle. About 24 microns in diameter.
You could replace eyes with cameras,
With in the
zoom
picture.
lenses.
You can get a sense for the
Look at that.
robot doing the electrode insertion.
Oh, it's got whiskers.
Look, so they've already inserted this in some motherfuckers out there.
Oh yeah, that's directly in.
And the robot is very selectively applying them very delicately. And
Do you have to recharge these?
Right?
this is what it looks like.
Probably recharges with your brain.
With action potentials. So
So it's solar powered.
you have to-
You have to wear a hat.
You have to get outside in the sun for at least 30 minutes a day.
the operation on a per chip basis.
Jimmy, what are you doing? I'm charging.
This is definitely Elon Musk's clone.
Incision, which is dilated to 8 millimeters, and then the chip is placed through that, and then it goes back to being 2
Why is
millimeters.
it sweating so much?
Shut. You don't even need a stitch, and then the interface to the
You don't need a
He's
stitch.
shiny.
to the
You're drilling a hole in my skull.
so you have no wires poking out of your head. Very important. So it's basically Bluetooth to your phone. So we don't have a
That
drive.
means it can Bluetooth to someone else's
Eric
phone.
said these people are scary.
Aspirationally in a human patient before the end of next year. So this is not far.
I'm Max Hodak. I'm the president of Neuralink. So I've wanted to build a neural interface. Is really
Has
the
Neuralink already.
goal of my life, basically as long as I can
Look at
remember.
him.
Yeah, he's
Talk about AI being potentially the
He's
last.
dead. Look at him, pale.
Be in my mind.
you spend a lot of time inside.
You're like, as Elon alluded to earlier, everything about your thoughts or memories, it's all in your brain and represented in the binary statistics of action potentials.
People say I talk about some weird stuff, some far out stuff.
That guy fucking, he looks like he dates a pencil.
That completely wireless. It had to be something that would last for a long period of time, not something that you'd have to take out at 2, 3, or 4 years in. This is a photo kit that we've gone through over that time. So we started on the far left.
So you're telling me like that's
entirely
just going to
passive
be in your
board that
brain?
has 64 electrodes on it and connects
That's how they started.
big external amplifiers. And then we added integrated electronics with our first custom chip. That's also 64 channels.
Look how old that is. That's from like 1970.
It probably even looks different now.
That has 3,072 electrodes in a fully implantable package with just a USB-C port coming out. And then we took a step back in channel count because remember
Eric said they've definitely been implanting for a while now. They've probably got people walking around with it already.
Oh,
it's easier to manufacture 1536 channels in a USB-C port. And those last are the focus of the paper that we released today. And they taught us a lot about the architecture that we think was the basis for our first human product that we're calling N1. And the central component of that is the N1 sensor.
Jesus.
It's a little hermetic package. It's when it's fully assembled, this is missing an outer mold. It's into an 8 millimeter diameter, 4 millimeter tall cylinder. Opening it up a little bit, you can see there's the thin film, which has the threads that Elon talked about, which is the wisp going off to the side. There's a hermetic substrate, and then that gets welded later to a package that goes over top, and that's mated to our custom electronics. And you really can't manipulate these with your hand. That part at the top is just a backing material that's surgical packaging. They're peeled off. The threads are peeled off that one at a time by the robot to place into the brain. And you have to place these threads. You can't manipulate these threads. You need a robot. And then that grew into understanding where the blood vessels are and imaging into the tissue, and the surface of the brain moves because you're breathing and you have a heartbeat. And there's lots of complexity of dealing with this incredibly high entropy substrate. And so the N1 implant, we can place, as Elon mentioned, many of these, possibly up to 10.
You said there's no wires. Where are those wires inside of your skin?
We're looking at
the inside of your brain.
3 in motor areas and 1 in a somatosensory area.
It's like a hearing aid inside.
To a wearable device that we call the Link, which contains a Bluetooth radio and a battery. It'll be controlled through an iPhone app. You won't have to go to a doctor's office and have them have an exotic programmer to configure it. And so for the first product, we're really focusing on 3 distinct types of control. The first is giving patients the ability to control their mobile device, because we heard from over and over again from patient groups that if you have to have a caretaker around to press buttons for you, what's the point? You might as well have them do the thing. You have to get self-sufficient using the device on your own. But we are working as hard as we can.
I don't like this.
Next year.
We developed this robot that can rapidly and precisely insert hundreds of individual threads representing thousands of distinct electrodes into the cortex in less than an hour.
Wow.
This allows a surgeon to aim between the blood vessels that cover the surface of the brain with micron scale precision. Here, the robot is selecting electrode threads and placing them into the brain in the pre-planned location with remarkable accuracy and repeatability. When you think of traditional neurosurgery, you probably think of something very invasive. Traditional surgery on the brain isn't something that patients ever look forward to or are excited about, except in the most dire circumstances. Usually a clamp is attached to the skull to keep it rigidly immobilized to the operating table. We often shave all or most of the patient's hair. Patients can end up with large visible scars.
Yeah, those are kind of what surgeries you wake up
patient experience. Something more like LASIK. We even want this to be possible under conscious sedation. That means you can get rid of the complexity and the risk of general anesthesia, as well as many of the unpleasant side effects.
You want to do this shit while you're awake.
That guy's never lifted a weight in his life.
The injection of local anesthetic, a very small opening in the skin, a painless opening in the skull below.
That's so cool. Look at that.
There's no such thing as a painless opening in your skull.
Fill that hole in the skull with the sensor, allowing the scalp to be closed up.
Currently, there are no research or commercial devices that meet all of our requirements. So we built one out of fabricated thin film polymers. And an average strand of hair is about 100 microns.
She has one implanted for
sure. Different ways that are electrodes, are wires, and the insulation for each of those wires. This design is called linear edge.
Dude, Elon has one.
Designs that
those things look like something you use to pop a pimple.
Progressively been
or a whitehead.
Number of electrodes per thread without significantly increasing the width of each of these threads at the base. Next, we assemble the electronics and then also attach a wired lid using a laser welding process. These 2 steps have required a lot of internal development as well. The result.
Okay. I think something happened to. Oh, Isaac just removed his.
Anyway,
I think we get the point. It is really high end, something that we've never ever seen before as humanity. And with everything, with all science and all new technologies, there's 2 groups. There's groups of people that fight against it and push against it, and then there's groups that are like, sign me up.
Right.
And you know what? I think there needs to be more testing. I don't want something put in my brain right away. We're like, we're not really sure what it does. We put in a couple of mice. You want to sign up? No.
Yeah, it used to be this big. No, it's this big.
That's just insane to me.
It's pretty trippy.
I don't like pain-free skull incision. I don't think that exists.
Yeah. I'm fine with a little bit of pain, but the pain goes away, and then you're better.
And they want you to be awake too, so you're gonna hear.
Like the thing after I feel like you'd never be the same person ever again.
No way. No, you wouldn't. You'd be like Superman. Like, I don't want to be Clark Kent anymore.
I don't want that.
I'd rather
future.
just stay who I am. I feel like I've enjoyed this human experience with the mind that I was given.
I feel like I'm already Superman.
Exactly. I don't need any chip. I'd rather
I'll fly right now.
deal with the
Don't jump.
unfortunate circumstances and challenges that life throws at me as a human than have this cheat chip that allows me to do whatever I want and not have to experience the hardships and not be aware to the circumstances of the greater thing.
Yeah, there you go.
It's probably a good place to wrap up now that I'm going to be thinking about robots implanting my thoughts for the rest of the night.
I'm gonna be thinking of all the different ways that I can be better.
I'm going to be thinking about all the ways that the government is trying to infect and implant my thoughts, and maybe they've already microchipped me. If I have this weird thing in my leg, I don't know what it is. Maybe they've already chipped me.
I'm gonna have the strongest pinky muscles. You might actually even be able to like use they have those things that you plug into the wall. They make some noise and they deter spiders. I wonder if your brain can deter ticks and all sorts of insects, so they're just repulsed by you.
That'd be cool. Maybe that'd be worth it. Maybe that'd be worth it.
I wonder how like fueling is gonna go, because I feel like you think like the brain will be able to sustain that amount of power without the proper intake of energy.
You probably have. Well, it comes with a battery, and I'm assuming the battery needs to be charged.
Hopefully, it comes with a really long cord,
or you detach it like a wireless headphone, and you plug it in.
You probably hear that, like when you pop it out, it's probably you hear it in your ear.
I just thought this is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, people are gonna crack their skulls. Like people,
they're gonna try to put it in themselves.
No, they're gonna try to remove it themselves.
You already know there's gonna be aftermarket products. People are gonna make because people will do anything for money.
Yeah, you can get them at a bodega.
A faulty one from China.
Right.
Who's making these Neuralink?
The company.
I didn't even think about how that shit connected to your brain, and now seeing the video is just.
It's so precise.
It's so disturbing. It's little like worms that go into your brain.
You guys really are like yin and yang.
What's that?
You guys really are like yin and yang.
Yeah, we're different.
Yeah, he's very handsome. I'm semi-handsome.
We're all handsome on this screen here.
Some more than others.
No, that's not true.
It's a no. It's not true.
That is rubbish.
I'm not gonna be able to like think of anything else besides this for like the entire.
I know. You're gonna start writing things down.
If you think of it.
That's your homework.
Let's just start talking about it in the group chat with all the employees just to really freak people out.
Yeah. Okay, next, Urban Acres. We are all getting brain chips.
To work on the.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you want to work on the farm, then you got to put in there.
Hey, should we send? I don't think any of them are watching. I think it's just Eric watching right now. Should we send in the group chat like, hey, here's the link. Send the link to the video. Be like, watch this video. You guys are all getting that once the malls open up.
Yes, mandatory. And then we'll come up with a. We need a document. We need a document and have them sign it.
Dude, I saw somebody had a. I'm yelling. My baby's asleep. I saw, dude. Somebody had a fake interview with Carol Baskin from Tiger King.
I saw that.
I
Dude,
didn't see that.
They made a soundboard of Jimmy Fallon live and invited her to the Jimmy Fallon show and somehow convinced her that she couldn't see Jimmy Fallon, but she was talking to him. Like, it was incredible, dude. Like, I don't know how they held it all together. I have to send you the link. It was
Like, is it one of those super fake things?
No, super real.
Wait, like it actually happened, or did they fake it?
It didn't happen on Jimmy Fallon, but they faked the Jimmy Fallon interview with her, and she hasn't agreed to do an interview with anybody since the Tiger King thing, since she like murdered her husband and all. So like, she's trying to make sure that the case is, because she supposedly murdered her husband, which I think she did, and they reopened the case since the Tiger King documentary thing became a popular show, and yeah, it was the first show that she's done. Somehow they got her convinced to do it, and they promised her.
How long's the video?
Probably 15 minutes.
Oh, okay, I'll watch it then.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably skip the first 5 minutes when they're like planning it all, because I basically just described it. It was probably like 5 to 7 minutes.
I'm just trying to fathom this whole thing. I don't.
Trying to fathom what?
Are you still on the Neuralink?
Yeah. Like, I'm very serious with the fact that like this is not gonna leave my head.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, maybe you already caught the bug. It's already there.
Yeah, maybe I'm half robot already.
You could be. So I found the interview already.
So what is the thing gonna be like? So people are gonna be born.
First,
like people who are born are gonna get it when they're born.
Maybe it'd be like circumcision. I think what they're going to start with, though, they're not going to start by circumcising, right? They're going to start by implanting it into people with problems, quadriplegics, maybe like what's that disease where you just fall asleep driving? Starts with an E, I think.
Is it narcolepsy?
Narcolepsy. Wait, no, I was thinking of necrophilia. Yeah, but it is narcolepsy. So they can.
Necrophilia is a totally different thing.
It's 100%. That's the power of words. Words can be very different.
So I found the interview. It's 7 minutes. It's 6 minutes long.
Is that where she's like, "Oh, what's good, all you cool cats and kittens? It's Carol Baskin."
That's exactly what it says.
Yeah.
All right, let's try to do this.
But I just feel like so many okay.
In New York, I have Carol Baskin in the room now.
Did they pretend to be Jimmy Fallon? Is that what's going on?
Can't hear it.
Your headphones in?
Good, very well. So we've got a little bit of time.
It's muted, Adam. Adam, can you hear us? We can't hear the video.
We can't hear anything.
I don't know what that's supposed to do.
No, it didn't help.
Sounding good, we were ready to go. Archie just had to explain why she wouldn't be able to see Jimmy Fallon.
You'll only be able to hear him, but he obviously will be able to see you because they're filming it on the cameras in his house. Very chatty. You can't talk too much. I don't think every husband wants. We literally, every husband, all the husbands want to be able to do that. Well, we've got Sharon. Is Sharon on visual, please? Thank you, Sharon. Good. First thing you're going to hear will be Jimmy's first question, okay? With you, big smiles in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much for being on our show. We appreciate it. We love you. How are you?
I'm doing great. My daughter Jamie suggested that I do this interview with you, so she says hi. And we're working every day with the cats at the sanctuary.
Are you with family now, or are you by yourself?
My husband and I live about 5 miles from the sanctuary, and my daughter lives next door to us. And so my daughter and I still come into the sanctuary every day because we have to take care of all of the big cats here.
Yeah. Are you getting to work on anything? What are you up to?
Well, unfortunately, due to the loss of tourism revenue, we had to let go about half of our staff. And thankfully, all of our animal care is done by volunteers. So the animals are still getting their daily care, but it means all of us are having to work double time to make sure that all of that happens.
You really did that? You look like you're really handling this whole quarantine well.
Yeah, we have to. We have so many cats depending on us. We don't have a choice in the situation.
Got a lot of animals back there.
These guys.
19 bobcats, 10 tigers, and a lion, jaguar, leopards, cougar, lots and lots.
Oh my goodness. Lucky. Wow.
Look at he's laughing.
Were you all set for quarantine? Were you fully stocked? Do you have all your supplies?
Thankfully, we were able to fill up our freezers. We can store about 20,000 pounds of food at a time.
It is a lot of work there. I mean, do you have any time off?
I work 7 days a week, but I'm a workaholic, so I really love doing this work.
I mean, when does anybody ever get to see a cat?
After COVID-19, I just don't know if we're ever going to be able to do tours again.
Okay, that's amazing.
Carol kindly sent us a bunch of photographs and videos to use in the show, many of which have never been seen in public before. But we needed Carol to introduce them, so Archie worked his magic.
So we just have an introduction to, I'm Carol Baskin. In fact, if you wanted to even do it, because it's quite a fun little segment like you do your YouTube videos, Hey Cool Cats and Kittens, here is, because that's such a great phrase, here is, Hey Cool Cats and Kittens.
Flowers.
yeah, please go put that on, that would be great.
Serial killer.
They probably went so viral.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Carol at Big Cat Rescue, and these are some of the cats at the sanctuary.
So, here is footage Carol sent to us of cats kept in cages. And here are some never-seen-before pictures of Carol and Howard in a short montage we like to call Baskin in the Glory.
That guy is the definition of ultimate simp.
Anyway, back to the show.
Okay, tremendous. Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy, I'm going to ask you for this bit just to take the hat off, if that's all right.
Hang on a minute.
Oh,
what?
Sorry. They've asked for the hat on for continuity. Sorry, could you put the hat on?
Serial killer watch.
It's actually a hockey lei. It's a celebration of life. It's not a flower crown.
Sorry, I've just been calling it a hat, which is probably very rude. We're just waiting for Jimmy. Oh, Sharon, what's going on? Well, tell Steve. I know. Tell Steve he's got to get back. Steve, mate, seriously, get a grip. It's an absolute disgrace. We've got guests waiting. I want to send him into the tiger cage, honestly.
Carol came onto the Fallon Show to promote her campaign for a new law called the Big Cat Public Safety Act. Fortunately, we had Jimmy ready with the perfect question.
Everyone who's been coming on the show, we asked them if they have a charity or something they want to spotlight. What is the story behind this?
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. There is something you can do to end the abuse of big cats and to save them in the wild. That's to make the call of the wild. And you can do that by texting the word CATS, C-A-T-S, to the number 52886. And remember that data and messaging may apply. And what that will do is actually contact your member of Congress in the U.S. And if you don't live in the U.S., what you can do is never pay to see a cub or pet a cub.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Can we just have Jimmy's outro to that, please? Coming to Jimmy in 3, 2, 1.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. It means a lot to
Bravo to those guys tricking Carol.
Carol Bass.
It's crazy.
Oh, we're getting an echo.
Sorry about that.
Is that better?
Yeah. It's all good.
Way better.
Way better. Well, I think that's probably a good place to wrap up with Carol Baskin. Carol Baskin's always a good place to wrap up. This has been an interesting episode of the AA for Entrepreneurs.
This has been very fun. It's been a very fun, kind of free and loose episode of AA for Entrepreneurs. I enjoyed it very much.
Hour and 40 minutes almost.
That's got to be some kind of record for just the three of us.
Yeah, we just kept going. I could literally just keep going too. That's the thing.
Yeah, if my baby wasn't asleep, I would probably just keep going.
You're going to go a little crazy. I could see it in your eyes. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of AA for Entrepreneurs. What episode are we on? Season 3, episode
19.
19.
I'll be back tomorrow night with my show. I'm on a 3-week streak of going live.
Crushing.
Weekends.
Props.
Doing my thing. Isaac's been a huge help in doing that. And AA for Entrepreneurs is back and running. Hopefully next week we have a guest. Hopefully we can just have Goodenough on next week.
If not, Neuralink Part 2.
Probably. All right, gents. Everybody out there, have a great night.
Have a good one. Stay positive, y'all.
Yes. Don't worry. Neuralink is not 5 years away, hopefully.
Yeah, probably 3.
We're going to end it right there.